We're at the Twin Brook Hilton in Rockville, Maryland for the Capitol Audiofest 2022. I'm Howard Neller, and welcome to The Listening Chair.
Hi Howard, welcome to our room. Thank you for coming by here at Capitol Audiofest 2022. I'm Larry Borden, as you know, president of Distinctive Stereo. I'll give you a quick rundown of what's in our room, and then I'm going to hand it over to the presidents and designers of two of the main products I represent, Merrill of Merrill Audio and Gary Coe of Genesis.
Well, I see some really beautiful equipment behind you, so I'm excited to hear. Thanks.
Okay. I'll start with the digital. I represent two brands in particular. There are some other small ones, but here we have the EMM Labs DA2. That's designed by Ed Meitner. That's their top-of-the-line DAC. Again, the DA2 is the model. That's $30,000. And driving at the source is the Orender. I'm a dealer for Orender. This is the N20, which is $12,000. They make a number of models at all different price points.
I know you're a big fan of the Orender.
I am indeed. They tremendous value for the money, great sound, and a very, very solid company behind them, as is true of all the products I carry.
Okay.
And Gary will say certainly more about this side, but quickly, this is the VPI. I'm a dealer for VPI, and Gary works very closely with them, as does Merrill. This is the VPI Avenger Direct. This is a direct drive turntable, which we're very proud, and VPI, of course, is extremely proud.
Right, and I just saw this in the VPI.
Right, but ours is better than theirs, of course. We have the good
one.
Well, I was half joking, but not entirely joking. This is their Fat Boy tone arm.
Right.
And right now we're actually using both tone arms mounted. This arm is called the Wand. It's from a company in New Zealand. Gary has been working very closely with them, and this is a prototype cartridge that Gary's been designing. He can tell you more about that. The cartridge, I think, is going to be about $18,000. It's a very, very special cartridge. And Gary is working on, has a proprietary variant, if you will, maybe that's not the right word, or it's an arm based on the Wand, but much, much higher.
Okay.
The Wand on steroids, as I guess meant to use modern lingo.
Good evening. This is Merrill Wettersinger with Merrill Audio. I'm the founder, and I'm here to describe the amplifiers, which is the Element 116MX. One of the most unique things in the industry is this is the gallium nitride transistor that we're using in this. And we've designed it in such a way that there's zero feedback and zero dead time, which is the only company that is doing this right now. And because of those two features, we have almost zero distortion. There still is some. And also it's ultra quiet because there's no noise that comes in from all the other activities that go on with, especially with dead time. And feedback is used to quell the distortion. However, it reduces the dynamics of the system. So you hear a lot of detail and a lot of very fast dynamics, which is one of the characteristics of the Merrill Audio sound. We complement really well with this Genesis system because they do exactly the same thing. They're extremely fast, very quiet, very clean. In addition to the amplifiers, we have the Christine, which is a complement to the amplifier, which is over here. This is the new upgraded Christine MX. It has a full color display touch screen.
I love the rose color.
Thank you. All our signature color is rose gold for everything. And characteristic of this, ultra quiet. It also is very fast, very clean. And we're going to be introducing this formally early next year in 2023.
Okay,
so this is a preview to this full production.
I'll look forward to hearing it.
Yes, indeed. And we do have the phono stage also to complement this, which is the Jens MX. That will also be introduced next year. And that also has our signature very fast transient, ultra quiet system.
And where do you get the names from for these?
So the Christine, I should call it X, but Christine is my ex-wife. And Jens, we took the phono stage design. He spent over 5 years developing that very low noise design, especially on the input stage. And we took that, we adapted it to commercialize it. He only built it for his own use and he built 6 systems with that. And that's about it. So we've commercialized that, and so it's named after Jens. All the preamplifiers are named after females. So Kaylee, Kara, those are all my kids. And Christine, my ex. Soon to have Rose, my new girlfriend. And we'll go on from there onwards. So we're trying to name that. The elements are named after the periodic table. So the newest elements in the periodic table is 118, which is organocin, but nobody could pronounce that. So we changed it to element 118. These are one below that, so it's the element 116. We will have the element 120 in the near future.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Thank you. Merrill Wettersinger with Merrill Audio signing off.
Thanks.
Thank you, Howard, for coming to visit us in this room. My name is Gary Koh. I'm the Chief Designer and Chief Executive Officer of Genesis Advanced Technologies. I design loudspeakers. I'm supposed to be only a loudspeaker designer, but I've designed other things like cables, power amps, and phono stages. Today, we are showing the Genesis Tribute. The reason I call it the Tribute is that this is the tribute to Ani Nudell, who passed away a couple of years ago. The Ani founded the Genesis Technologies in 1991. And after he closed down, I founded Genesis Advanced Technologies in 2002 and hired Ani until his retirement as my chief designer. Ani, I believe, is one of the best loudspeaker designers in all time. He invented a couple of technologies which we use in the tribute. In 1968, he introduced to the audiophile world the servo-controlled bass. And by 71, he started a company called Infinity. And a lot of the technologies which he created then, including the servo bass, the ribbon tweeter, and the ribbon mid-range, he realized as the first ultimate loudspeaker, the Infinity Reference Standard, IRS 5. And a lot of Ani's customers would forever stay on the Nudell train, we call it, because the trifecta of awesome bass, amazing clarity, and airy highs is something that the audiophiles get addicted to and never leave.
That was a very large speaker system, huh, the IRS?
The IRS was huge, which is why when I decided to create the Tribute, I did not want a 4-tower system.
Right,
because
I'm sorry to hurt it. I meant it was huge physically, and it was also complex in design.
Complex in design. When Ani released it in 1978, it was so complex and so expensive. Infinity, nobody thought that he would sell any. But the IRS till today is known as the epitome of the audiophile loudspeaker. So when I wanted to create the Tribute, I wanted something that was more approachable to the customer, but still utilized every single technology that Ani developed and invented. And so the Tribute is a line source, which has got great advantages. As a line source, it only radiates in a cone. Radiates in a cylinder, unlike a point source which radiates in a cone. And because it only radiates in a cylinder, it's much more efficient, not only in sensitivity, but actual efficiency. When you double the distance, the listening distance of a line source, the sound pressure goes down by 3 dB. When you double the distance for a point source, sound pressure goes down by 6 dB. What that gets you is that when you're sitting further away, you typically do not sit 1 meter from the speakers. So you sit, let's say, 4 meters away from the speakers, 12 feet. The amount of amplifier power you need for the same level of sound is 1/4 of that of a point source. And the result of that is the line source is always more effortless, has got better imaging, has got more dynamics, both macro and micro, and it's got a much larger sweet spot because little changes in distance do not change much of the level of the sound at all, the SPLs.
Okay.
Arnie introduced that in 1973. That was how long ago a lot of these technologies were created. And so the Genesis Tribute is a line source.
Right.
It uses 12 tweeters as a pseudo line source. It uses a single solid 48-inch mid-range ribbon. It uses a single 12-inch servo-controlled woofer, exactly like the 1968 servo-static one that Arnie developed. It is a dipole like the IRS. And I've tried to use the aesthetics of the IRS, but bring a modern touch to it. You can see that it's transparent. There are strips across it. This is a transparent strip. It is not just there for aesthetics. Some of the advances I had to do over Arnie's design would be to reduce vibration in the cabinets, would be to improve the stability of the image, and so on. So I put a lot of the modern technologies, what we could have today, into the Tribute in order to advance some of these technologies.
It's a gorgeous looking speaker. I don't know who did the woodwork, but it's really, really beautiful.
Actually, I did. My CNC supplier failed. He just gave up. And 6 weeks ago, he delivered raw panels. So my tech and I actually went into workshop, and with buffers and sanders, orbital sanders, we sanded it down, we veneered it in a vacuum bag, we polished the wood, we sprayed it with the polyurethane, and we actually buffed it a day before shipping for the show.
Very nice.
Genesis Advanced Technologies are embodied in this loudspeaker. I designed the tweeters as an advance of a tweeter that Arnie designed prior to his retirement. I designed the mid-range ribbon to advance one of the ribbons that Arnie used prior to his retirement. I designed the woofer and all the electronics within the woofer. When Arnie developed the servo control, he used basically a calculator and math. I used computer simulation to improve the servo control. So now the servo control, the servo system integrates better, it's a little bit more coherent to the mid-range, acts faster, and it sounds more musical, I believe, than the original Genesis servo control.
Sounds great. We'll look forward to hearing it.